Thank you so much for joining our Making Friends video. Making friends is an art, and we hope that these tips can be very helpful when you interact with guests and friends. The first thing we're going to cover is FORT. F-O-R-T. FORT is a simple acronym that has helped me and many others be able to have topics ready to go when it comes to conversations. F stands for fun and family. This is where you can be able to ask questions on what they enjoy doing for fun. What are some of their hobbies? You can also ask questions concerning family. Do they have family in the area? Does their family come to this church as well? O stands for occupation. This is where you can be able to ask questions about where do they work? Do they work in the area? How far they drive from work to church? This is where also you can find out whether they're a student. What school do they go to? How many classes are they taking this quarter or semester? R stands for relationships and religion. This is where you can be able to ask if they have any friends that live in the area, or who do they hang out with during the week or on the weekend. This is also where you can ask questions to see what kind of religious background they have. This is where you can ask questions like, when you get the chance, what church do you usually fellowship at? As well as how long have you been coming to Long Beach Seventh-day Adventist Church? T is for testimony. This is usually when you get a little bit more personal with the individual. If you start with F and then go to O and R, after a while you'll be ready to start with T. Testimony, this is where you get to know the person's story, but also you get to be able to share your story of how you met Jesus. Sharing your testimony is always a great way to go deeper with an individual and also allow them to get to know you more, and at the same time you get to know them as well. Now, a couple tips when it comes to using the acronym FORT, FORT. One thing you want to keep in mind, you want to make sure that you're having a conversation and not interrogating them. What does this mean? This means that you're also answering the questions that you are asking them as well. Otherwise, it's going to look more of an interrogation and not a conversation, and some people might feel uncomfortable, and that's the last thing you want to do. You also want to make sure you're smiling when you're interacting with others. Usually, they mirror what you're doing. If you're smiling and happy, even if they might not be, they might start to smile a little bit more. Now, we're going to go into attitudes of making friends. Did you know that your attitude can be able to impact the individual that you're interacting with? The first attitude of making friends that I'm going to share with you is the airport attitude. When you meet someone in the airport that you haven't seen in a long time, how do you usually interact with them? You're pretty excited. You say things like, "Hey, how's it going? It's been a long time since I've seen you. Look at the kids, they've grown so much." The airport attitude is full of excitement as well as energy. When you use this attitude, you make people feel like you've been waiting for them all week for them just to show up to church. The second attitude is the ADD attitude. This one works well in case your mind goes blank when it comes to asking questions. This is where you ask intentional random questions, like, "Hey, what do you think about the weather today?" Or you can go ahead and comment on what they're wearing. "Nice shoes you have there today. Where'd you get them?" Or like, "I love your dress. Awesome shirt. Where'd you get it?" These are questions that are intentional about the person, but they're at random. The third one is my favorite one. It's a sweet spirit of Jesus attitude. This I like to be able to use when you see someone that's downhearted, someone that looks like they had a pretty tough week. This is when you want to go ahead and let them know that you see that they're hurting. You can come across something like, "Hey, how you doing? How was your week? I'm sorry that you're going through that right now. Can I go ahead and pray for you?" The sweet spirit of Jesus attitude allows people to feel loved and know that God is there because you're there. Always see for opportunities to be able to pray with people. Thank you so much for joining our Making Friends video, and we hope these tips were helpful and will help you not only as you're part of our home team, but also in your interactions from day to day. Thank you, and look forward to seeing you in our home team.